First of all, how was it last year with a new conference for your school?
I feel like the conference last year was a good learning experience for everybody. I feel like everybody had a great time, a lot of learning curves for us, and we're just ready to attack year 2.
It's not like you guys weren't playing in the big time anyway, but did you get a lot of questions about it being a new conference and what the experiences were?
I got a couple questions like that today, and the experiences were great. I mean, new environments, new teams, new faces, and I feel like that was a great experience for everybody.
Okay. We'll open it up. We have a question here on the right-hand side.
Carson Field, Sooners on SI. What stood out to you about this defense? How has it improved since last year, and how have you taken a leadership role on it?
I feel like we've communicated way better this year because we were taught a quiet defense is a dead defense. So I feel like this year we're emphasizing on communication a lot.
Left side on the aisle.
Christy Freud, USA Today. Obviously, you're on the other side of the ball, but what are your first impressions of John Mateer, and what's it been like to be around him?
John's a great guy, competitive guy, confident guy. He makes a lot of throws that a lot of your average quarterbacks can't make, and he's going to let you know about it. So that's what I love about John. He's a great guy to be around.
On the right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. A lot was made this offseason about Brent taking over, they call him defensively. Just knowing his history with Clemson a little bit, what does that give you confidence, and just what's the interaction been like since he made that move?
Coach V is one of the greatest defensive coaches ever, so I feel like I have all faith and trust in him because he's going to confuse a lot of offensive coordinators and quarterbacks because you never know what you're going to get from him. You never know what we're going to run that week, so that's what I love about Coach Venables. So Coach V, 1 week we might be in a whole different game scheme, formations than the next week. So you really can't watch our last week's game because we're probably not going to even come out in that formation or them fronts at all.
Left side, second row.
Hey, Robert. Jacques Duce, WAFB in Baton Rouge. What were your impressions of going to Tiger Stadium and playing LSU for the first time and hosting them this year? I don't think LSU's ever played at Oklahoma before.
That's probably the biggest stadium I've been in. Great environment, great fans, and can't wait for them to come in town. I got a couple of my friends, they transferred to LSU, so been talking to Nick Bauer a couple of days out the week, so it'd be a great matchup.
Johnny Condon, ABC 3340 Sports in Birmingham. Obviously, one of the bigger wins you had last season was that Alabama game. Now you're headed to Tuscaloosa this year. How big of a win was that for just the morale of that program heading into this year? And then are you excited to play at Bryant-Denny Stadium?
It was a great win. I feel like it was our senior night, so we had to let our seniors leave out with a bang because that's a memory that they'll remember for the rest of their lives, and they could tell their kids when they have their kids. And just going to Alabama, I mean, the program speaks for itself. Stadium, I always dreamed of playing there, so playing there is going to be a great time.
Right side, fourth row.
For you in practice, how much harder has it got facing the offense? Is it more challenging facing this Oklahoma offense than it was before last season?
It's definitely more challenging because they bring energy. I feel like with Arbuckle and John, they bring a different type of swag with them. I feel like our whole offense has embodied their swag and their energy. Because once they score a touchdown, their whole sideline's running over there celebrating with the guys. And that's what you need. You need energy. And I feel like these guys here love playing football.
Second row, right side.
You mentioned talking with Nick Anderson, some of the other players that have transferred. In this day and age, when there's a lot more movement, during the 4 or 5 years you're in the school, what's that like is it hard, especially when they transfer in conference, to maintain that friendship, or is it just like old times?
I feel like it could be both. But I feel like for me, it's like old times because you loved them without football, but you just met them through football, I feel like. So I feel like Nick, that's my dog for life. That's my best friend. So I feel like just because he transferred, I have no animosity towards him. I love him like he's my brother.
Left side, second row.
Staying on that theme, I wanted to ask you if you could describe what Nick Anderson and Bauer Sharp are like as teammates, and what is LSU getting in those two guys?
I feel like LSU's getting two great guys. Bauer's a vocal guy. He's a very vocal leader. Great personality, comes to work every day, head down, have a great time, makes practice fun. Nick, same way, great guy, loves playing football. You could tell he loves playing football just the way he comes to practice. He just makes jokes But when it's time to be about his business, he's about his business as well.
Back row left.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. You could be in the unusual situation early on of facing a guy who was playing quarterback for Oklahoma last year in Jackson Arnold when he comes to town with Auburn. What's that like with the idea of well, first of all, what's your relationship like with Jackson and what kind of player is Auburn getting in Jackson Arnold, but also the thought that you could be facing a former teammate leading the opposing team?
I feel like Jackson's a great guy. On and off the field, he has confidence. He makes a lot of good throws. He was just young. I feel like this year is his time to really shine. I feel like he has a great staff around him. I feel like he's going to have a great time at Auburn. And I feel like him coming back to Norman, he's going to try to redemption game, I feel like you should say. But I feel like he's going to have a great time. We're waiting for him to come, and we're just have fun.
We have time for a couple more questions. Do we have any out there? Take another one from Dan.
Oklahoma lost a lot defensively from last year. Has your role changed? Have you had to be more of a leader to replace some of the guys who have departed?
Coach V, Coach Hall, and Coach Smitty, they have all advised me to be more vocal. So this summer, this spring, and this winter, I've tried my hardest and done my best at being a more vocal leader and not just by leading by example. So I feel like me and a couple other guys have been doing that job very well.
Right side, second row.
Kind of something you just mentioned about Jackson coming back, but you know, I know there may not be any animosity, you know, friendship-wise and things like that, but you kind of had a little twinkle in your eye when you said you have plans when he comes back. When you're facing a former teammate like that, is there some underlying kind of let's show him what he's missing, or is that ever part of it?
No, I don't feel that. I feel like we're just coming here to play football. We all have dreams to make it to the next level, so I feel like we're all just going to go out there and play the game we love.
We always talk about rivalries. What's the one that you guys have with Texas? How does that feel?
That rivalry is probably the biggest rivalry in college football, I feel like, because it's the only rivalry that you're at a neutral site every year, same weekend, and it's cut in half at the 50. At the 50-yard line, it's burnt orange. The other one's crimson red, and I feel like that's probably the hardest thing.
When you're an old man, is that the one you're going to think of the most?
Definitely. I miss that game for sure.
Left side.
SEC fans are going to get their first look at Jade Knott this fall. He's been playing at Cal the last couple of years before transferring in to Oklahoma. Your initial impressions of the new running back?
Great guy. On and off the field, he has great hands, elusive, can catch the ball, can run good routes, and has a good little burst to him.
One final question here. Second row.
For people who have never been to your stadium before, how would you describe a game there and the whole experience?
From the Walker Champions to the end of the game, I feel like it's a great experience, especially a night game. Fireworks going off after touchdowns, the Roughnecks shooting their guns. I feel like it's just a great time. Fans are loud, and we're close to the stadium, so you hear everything. So I feel like it'll be a great time to be there.
Robert, thank you very much. Stay
Thank you.
healthy. Good luck.
Yes, sir.